is Spencer from Higher Gravity here, and we're going to do a little introductory video here on just beer basics. So maybe you're new to the hobby and trying to figure out what some of these things mean when you're looking at craft beer, or maybe you've been drinking craft beer for a while and you're just looking for a better way to kind of communicate what you like or what you don't like about beers. So we've got a few different things, just kind of walk you through a general tasting and the different ways that we talk about beer and the different categories that make craft beer what it is. First thing I want to talk about is something called IBUs, which is the International Bittering Unit. Generally from 0 to 100. Sometimes you'll see stuff that's higher than that, or sometimes beers will say no IBUs. But essentially what that means is it gives you an indication based on the style how bitter the drink might be. IBUs is a measurement of, not to be too nerdy about it, but the alpha acids and hops that are lost when they're exposed to heat. So that is a good indication. If you don't like bitter things, you want to look out for stuff that has low IBUs. The other one that most people are probably most familiar with is ABV, which is alcohol by volume, which kind of leads me into one of the first things that we look at, or one of the things that you can talk about when you're trying craft beer, which is the booziness of the beer. That is, so stuff with a high ABV is going to have a little bit more of a strong alcohol sort of character to it. So another aspect is carbonation, and when we're pouring a beer, we look at how quickly the bubbles are rising from the bottom of the glass. Does the pour make a head on top of the beer? How thick or dense is that head? And also, how long does it stick around? Does the head dissipate really quickly, or does it kind of stay on top of the beer as you're drinking an entire pint? There's also a standard reference method for color as well. So that ranges from 1 to 40, 1 being like a really light pale straw, something you might see in a Pilsner or an American light lager, or ranging all the way from black to black, which is 40. That would be something like a barrel-aged stout, or just something that's really, really dark, motor oily, if you will. And then when you come to actually tasting the beer, smell and taste are two things that are really, really closely related. So when you're tasting something, ask yourself, are you getting a lot of the hop character, a lot of the citrusy, piney, spicy smells and tastes from hops, or are you getting more of the bready, caramely, biscuit, chocolate sort of character that's given by the roasted malts, both in taste and smell? And the last thing that you kind of want to think about is the effect on your mouth, your palate. So what's the level of astringency? Is it really dry and puckering, and or is it really nice and smooth and sweet? How does the body of the beer, how does the beer feel in your mouth, which is done a lot, contributed a lot by carbonation. And then also finish. We like to talk about how long does the taste linger with you? How long does that sort of sensation keep in your mouth? So that kind of wraps it up for me. It's just a very basic rundown of all the different sort of things that you should ask yourself and think about when you're talking about beer, when you're trying beer with your friends. Let us know in the comments if this was helpful or not, and any suggestions of videos you'd like to see in the future. Would you like to just go more in depth on these or not? So that's it for me at Higher Gravity. I've been Spencer, and thank you guys for watching.